Hey, my name's John Wright, and I'm back again tonight. And you know what? It's pretty peaceful out. We've got people calmed down, and I'll tell you what, even those motorcycles that I talked about that's been shooting past here, they didn't even come by here today. You see, I like that when I put my foot down and I start goddamn saying things right here on the internet. And people out there, I just want you to know, you know what the real deal is? The real deal is, and I watch people all the time, and I play my guitar here at night for these people right here. That car's passing that car right there. Right here, they also, it's right here's the fire hall, and then it opens up, so they kind of pass people right here. So, you know, that's one of the reasons why they speed up. But a lot of people don't speed up. They slow down because I have my little reader board out there and stuff now. And now I get the law enforcement officers, they ride by on their bicycles this week. You never seen that before. I mean, I'm just telling you. I just don't mind getting these guys' attention, and I wouldn't mind telling them I'd like to have you fired if you don't keep your goddamn job straight and do your work. And you know what you should do is you should be pulling over people that have loud, menacing vehicles that don't want to fix their vehicles because you're letting them get away with it. When you let them get away with it, when you stop performing inspections on vehicles, what you're doing is you're allowing this stuff to fester and grow. People don't even keep their cars clean, man. I mean, people don't have to do anything. The people won't do anything if there isn't some rules to follow. And cops should follow the same rules back and forth. And when I talked to my brother-in-law about, and I've talked to my brother-in-law about him being the governor of Washington State, because to be honest with you, I could say, man, oh man, I could work with my brother-in-law if he was the governor of Washington State. For number one, I could make him look so good because I'd like to work for him. But then again, most people that I work for, they want me to do the job and they just want to take the credit for it. Like, you know, I write the book and they take the credit for it. That's like my dad writing the book about what happened in Alpine Bowl, but Billy O'Connor, Mike O'Connor's wife that owned Dairy Dan's, that's the president of the bowling association in Lewis County for all those years. Then he turns it over to Rich Bunker. Rich Bunker, I would like to bowl to Rich Bunker. Rich Bunker's a fantastic bowler, by the way. He's a much better bowler than most people. And I'll give that to Rich Bunker. I believe that Rich Bunker was actually raised in the Chehalis Bowling Center, and he knows Herb Kreitzer very well. I mean, I don't mean to rain on anyone's parade. Rich Bonker! Hey, remember I wrote your name wrong up on the reader board right there? It said Rich Bonker. And like Jerry Hewitt and the late James Moore, the Rent-A-Pig cop that was over at the Fairlanes Bowling Center that's in the Hall of Fame there. That professional bowler there that give them credit to, he wouldn't even bowl me. He had asked me to set up the lanes for him so he can come over and practice at the bowling alley when no one's around, but he wouldn't bowl me when no one was around. As a matter of fact, when that Rich Bonker name was right there, I just love telling good stories. You see, Rich Bonker was there, Rich Bonker. Herb was there, Jerry Hewitt was there, and Jerry Moore was there. And Jerry Moore, or no, Jim Moore. And Jerry Moore's the attorney that got murdered over in Centralia, Washington. And I'm sure they all knew each other too, by the way. So now let's go back to this one. So anyway, we're there in this group right there, and there's the bar of the bowling alley right there, the 8-lane bowling alley in Chehalis. And Jim Moore leans over towards Jerry Hewitt, and he's belittling me, and he says, John here wants to bowl me, you know. And Jerry Hewitt leans towards him and he says, "Yeah, the little fucker bowled me too." He says, he goes, and he beat me. You know, I mean, I get to bowl these guys one on one if they come in and they want to have fun, but I don't rub it in their face. And if Jerry Hewitt wants to tell the truth in front of me when Jim Moore reaches over and leans to him and tries to insult me standing right there, all I can do is just stand there. Hi. um. Anyway, we gotta go bowling tonight, you guys. You know, there's just nothing to it. Herb Kreitzer, he's a pretty good bowler. I told him he'd never bowl a 300 game in that bowling alley, and he bowled a 289. They say he bowled a 299, but that isn't true. He bowled a 289, and actually, I believe that you can look in the tournament things of the past records, if they even keep them now. But they keep these bowling league books, so you can go in there and you can find out who the best bowler is in the county. You know, and also you keep names and stuff and track of people too. It's just like the newspapers down there in Lewis County. It has Sharon L. Decker over there at the Chronicle, always there willing to bury a case. You know, like James L. Rowland was right there in that town too, with Wheeler's Law Office. You know, when I brought my attorney, James L. Rowland, decided he wanted to go down to my doctor's office, when my doctor said that he decided he was going to pension me out, between me and my doctor, he had discussed and he told me what he thought and stuff, and he was going to pension me out because he was going to retire me. He was going to retire shortly too, and he wanted to retire me out before he left, because he just really didn't want to leave me in someone else's care, and he knew where I was physically and where I was coming back to. And Dr. Hall also sent me to a pain center in Portland, Oregon, 21 days pain center. There, it wasn't in-house. I had a hotel over there, you know, and John Wright flipped the roof upside down over there, and you should have seen some of the stuff that went on there. Like a Mexican guy, he can't speak English in front of anybody. He's got to have an interpreter and everything. And when I get there, you know, when I get there, I give my pills away. I give my pills to them right at the desk. And I said, nope, nope, I want you to have my pills. I want you to have my medication. I want you to have it all. I want you cold. I'm going to be cold turkey. And you're going to find out what's really wrong with my back here is what we're going to do. You know, and I'm serious about everything I do. They found out that my pelvic was tripped and flipped in my back, my lower back. I have a knee injury, I have a leg injury, I have etc. I have many injuries. So anyway, they found out that this was something because why? They found me on the floor, bent like a pretzel, and they drugged me into a room and they had to sedate me and work on me, and they flipped my pelvic and stuff when they had me out. You know, they may have used this something like milk of amnesia, so you don't remember things. And I know that they talked to me and stuff while I was under, and I do remember being in the room, but I do know that I was quite sedated when they were doing that to me at that point. But and also I took some of the other people. I said, well, I got my car here tonight. I said, you know, somebody wants to go, I'm going to go play pool over at Brush Prairie down at the bar over there. And that would be near where the D.B. Cooper landing actually was. You know, that there's my grandma lives right there at Brush Prairie over there at 15619 3rd Street, Northeast 3rd Street, Brush Prairie, Washington. And right there, it's next to the transponder, where the aerial transponder where the D.B. Cooper crime actually happened. And, you know, here's the book on the D.B. Cooper crime right here, the FBI on this. And you know what? When somebody comes forward and they tell you, you know, the truth about this, you know, they don't want somebody to come forward and tell the truth about, because D.B. Cooper's big money. For all those people out there that selling shirts and stuff at my expense, they're making money off of it. For everybody that's selling coffee cups, they're making money off of it. For all these here people that's down here doing this CooperCon down there in Brush Prairie, Washington, I find all this intimidating towards me and everything else, and I don't feel safe going into the public and stores and stuff. Just saying. Why? Because they put an X, they put a goddamn mark on me. You know, the law officers that did this back when my dad had to do it, they're dead, dead, dead. And my dad told me never to get in trouble. And if I would have got in trouble, these guys would have railroaded me. I know they would have railroaded me. I just know it. Why? Rick Rife's in prison for Jerry Wright's murder of those old people, the Merwins. My grandmother told me I was the man that to come forward and tell the story. The story was about me. I'm telling you, my grandmother had me on her deathbed telling me about this, about his clothes being up the stairway in her house right there. I found out that my dad went out with all of my mom's sisters. Quite the thing. George's girls, they used to go out and party and stuff down there in Portland, Oregon, when George even came down from Port Angeles, and it was pretty much an open thing. I mean, it was always an open thing. Even Jerry's relationship with his women, and all of them that starts with L, and Marietta's relationship with Jerry and their sexual experience between the two of them. And they keep this L thing going on with them. Jerry L. Wright, Marietta L. Wright, Patty L. Wright, Sammy Luann Wright. I mean, it goes on and on and on. And even the people that owns the bowling alleys and stuff like this, L and C is prominent in the middle of the names. You know, I'm telling you the truth and stuff. I believe that D.B. Cooper should be pardoned. I feel that I'm D.B. Cooper's son. I should be exonerated of all the harassment. Matter of fact, when I say I like $21 million is a nice number. It's not too high, it's not too low, and it's per event. So you know this $21 million for this D.B. Cooper, they put my memorabilia stuff across the United States, $21 million. I think that's a reasonable place to start from. And it's a pretty reasonable place to be at, period. You know, somebody can argue and say something different. That's your opinion, not mine. So I don't really care. So now let's go to that gold mine down in Nevada. You know, $21 million, you guys dug it up. I don't care how much money you guys made out of it, but you crossed the line, 21 million bucks. I don't want to goddamn hear another fucking thing about it from Freeport Gold. As a matter of fact, Freeport Gold is going to get a fucking copy of this. I'm just saying, I'd like to have what I want, and I want my shit back. Now, Lewis County down there, over those bowling alleys and stuff and what they did, that bowling alley was $1.5 million, and I've lost a lot of money per month. Me and Bob had it figured out. We were supposed to be splitting $50,000 a month between us after the bills were paid, after all the payments and stuff were done and everything. I was supposed to be collecting 25 grand a month. Throughout the whole year, averaged out. And I've lost that. And by the way, Bob Kling, he was so goddamn smart, and I gotta cut this off. He put $400,000 in a company called Touch of Savvy, and he smiled and he told me as he was fucking me using the Lewis County law enforcement officers to come to my house, 5 of them at 4 o'clock in the morning, 4 banana splits at 4 o'clock in the morning. Bruce Kimsey, you were involved in it there too. Have a nice day, everyone. Have a nice day. My name's John Wright, and they're not. My dad was a Zodiac. My dad was D.B. Cooper. They were forced. Hezbollah, Morton, Washington. It's there. Believe me. I'm telling you so. Millhouse Smokehouse.